solo homers this weekend. And Schoonover ready with a first pitch, and it's a ball here at 2:02 in the afternoon. 72 degrees, but we'll be keeping an eye on the wind because those flags are whipping 19 miles an hour, kind of blowing out to left center. Schoonover misses for ball 2. Our umpires, the home plate umpire is Carlos Guzman. Tom Meyer is at first. Emerus Addison down at third. That's in for a called strike. And for those of you who have not been with us, the dimensions here at John Kropp Stadium, 200 down each line and 220 to straightaway center.
And Schoonover really loves to throw the screwball to right-handed batters. She can run that pitch right in on the hands. Alabama, typically a team that gets right on the plate, so it'll be fun to watch this battle today. Can Alabama be disciplined, keep their hands inside that screwball, or have this type of result?
Got her on the wrist, and Larson, the third baseman, gobbles it up for out number 1. And that's a first pitch ball to Kinley Cahalan. Cahalan, as I've mentioned a couple of different times this weekend, is normally only one of 2 left-handed hitters in the lineup, but she's the only left-handed hitter in the lineup today for Coach Patrick Murphy.
Well, and that works to Stephanie Schoonover's favor. You look at her batting averages against all season, very strong, but 291 batting average against lefties, against just 131 against right-handed batters, and a lot of that has to do with her screwball, her rise ball combination. She is a pitcher not afraid to pound the inside part of the plate against right-handed batters.
That one missed inside. Had some movement on it. I think, Carol, the biggest thing for Schoonover in seeing her the number of times I have this year is it's critical for her to identify and accept what the strike zone is.
And that's true, you know, with a lot of pitchers out there, there's no doubt. But, you know, setting that tone early, really figuring out early what's going to be called, what's not going to be called. There's that human element in umpiring.
Right.
And being able to manage that. The really great pitchers can do that, and they can do it very quickly.
And that 3-2 pitch missed outside. And so Cahalan becomes the first Bama base runner.
Number 34, Marley Giles.
And here is Marley Giles, who hit that solo homer Thursday night. I'm going to confuse that all day because we're going Thursday, Friday, Saturday this weekend. Giles hit the solo homer Thursday night, hit one again last night, and that time pops it up into shallow center. How about that play on the run?
Schoonover goes to her screwball. Giles gets jammed up on the inner part of the plate, really hits it off the handle, and Jenna Blanton fully commits off the bat to making that catch. A big reason why Jenna Blanton is in center field. She can cover a lot of ground, uses her feet to get to a lot of balls.
And with 2 down, here's Emma Broadfoot. If I remember correctly, and at my advanced age, that becomes more of a question every day, but I believe that Blanton made that play in the first inning last night where she went back to the wall and took a homer away.
Yeah, covers a lot of ground in center field, and that's what you need. You need someone who's willing to be aggressive. You need someone who's the field leader. They always say in softball, strong up the middle, pitcher, catcher, middle infielder, center fielder, and Blanton has done a nice job of covering from the dirt all the way back to the fence for the Wildcats.
That ball stayed upstairs. Two-one pitch lifted to right. Plotz has got it. And Schoonover gives up. And if I saw that, And as her called strike, if I saw that right, Carol, this is not only the first time that Hutchins isn't hitting in the top 3 in the order, but they've actually given her the day off to this point.
And we've seen this a lot from Kentucky. They are, using a lot of their student athletes. They really, last night, I think we almost cleared their entire dugout, right. And they play multiple positions. So, just the luxury Kentucky has this year. And, you think about Erin Koffel, one of the most prolific hitters, not only this season for Kentucky, but throughout her entire career in the history of this program. Most teams have been really pounding the zone on the inner part of the plate against Erin Koffel. A little different look there from Kayla Beaver. She goes outside. But you see Erin Koffel, she's starting to back off the plate a little bit in SEC play toward the Kentucky dugout. Give herself a little more room to hit that pitch on the inner part of the plate.
Great shot of what you were just talking about there and there. And they just got it on her wrist. And Carol, that's exactly what you said. And that's what she's trying to adjust to. And was able to last night when she had one leave the yard. Now she's battled back to even the count at 2-2.
And that's been the biggest question this year for Kentucky. Where do you put Koffel in the lineup for this particular team? Depending on the rest of the team, she's been in different spots in the lineup. 1, 2, 3, 4, always near the top. Majority of the season, she's been at the top. And they want to give her the most at-bats. That's why she's in that leadoff spot.
And here's what she did last night. It was your basic no-doubter. Off of Beaver. And here she is looking at the 2-2 pitch.
And that home run came at such a crucial time
right.
in the game. And, the final score was 9-4 Alabama. The game was much closer than that. After that Erin Koffel swing, it made it 4-3. And we had a brand new ball game in the latter half of the game. And Erin Koffel's just been so consistent. You know what you're going to get. She's going to battle. Already has made Beaver throw a lot of pitches here in the first at-bat of the game.
You made mention of it last night. A lot of class shown by Alabama to bounce back after that. 1-run game on the road, and they put up a 5 spot in the 6th inning thanks to 5 RBIs from the Johnson sisters. There you take a look at Jenna, who's in center field. Oh, see, I get confused on these sisters. Jenna's in left field. Wow, that's going to be an error. Haven't seen that much. But a little peekaboo down there by Emma Broadfoot. And the first Kentucky batter is aboard.
The challenge sometimes of playing third base. This ball is not hit well. It's an outside pitch. Koffel pulls. But no footwork, just a little shuffle step. Would have liked to have seen Broadfoot head all the way toward the foul line. You play like there's no foul line there. Go get the ball first and then make the play. Third base been a little bit of a revolving door for Alabama between Bailey Dowling and Emma Broadfoot. No one really taking charge of that third base slot defensively.
Broadfoot hit that big home run on Thursday night. And that's probably what has gotten her the following 2 starts, as Riley Smith is ahead in the count 1-0. Had all kinds of stuff the last couple nights. Interference, obstruction, reviews, leaving early. We're a full-service softball show.
Never a dull moment in an SEC series.
Right.
I'll tell you what, just so much parity. All these teams competitive, so much at stake.
I don't mean to overstate it, but I'm just so happy to see this crowd. I mean, this is a great game. That ball's grounded to second. They'll try to get Koffel at first. They do, but can't turn to double play. That was a nice turn out there by Hevelin for out number 1.
Now fielder number 37, Peyton Potts.
Well, no chance really there for the double play for Alabama. The ball's got to be hit with some pace to have a double play,
Right.
but wisely attack the lead out.
And so with Smith at first, in stands the freshman Peyton Potts. Boy, and when Beaver can locate like that and get movement on the ball like that, it can have a tendency to be a long day for the opposition.
She just works at such a good tempo, really fills the strike zone, and she can command all parts of the zone and can throw a variety of pitches.
And just as we say that, she comes up with a wild pitch, and that allows Smith to get into scoring position.
Well, this is a great opportunity for Kentucky early. Alabama not really on top of their game here early with the air, the wild pitch. And Kayla Beaver is very stingy in the number of hits she gives up per game, right around 4. One of the best in the country, top 15 in ERA. You have to take advantage when you have runners in scoring position.
Boy, and she comes back with such a good pitch right there. Plot's got a good cut at it, but couldn't connect. And Beaver ahead in the count 1-2.
Plotz has just continued to insert herself into the Kentucky lineup. Was in and out of the lineup early in the season, a lot of pinch hitting roles, DP roles. Now is the everyday starter out in right field and third spot in the batting order.
Nice eye right there. I think that ball stayed outside. There was a question coming from the Bama bench. And Carlos Guzman gave him the wave off. So here now the full count pitch. And she walked. Center, Clark in right. And the DP is Riley Valentine. And here now is Taylor Ebbs. This is her first start, I believe, since she injured that shoulder. She pinch hit and time is called, and Patrick Murphy quickly comes out to talk with Beaver. Plotz, who drew the walk. And so Ebbs behind in the count 0-1. She jammed that shoulder, diving back into first base. And she's in some device that looks like it would not be comfortable, but it helps, and you can see it kind of sticking out underneath her jersey right there. That's a great shot, guys. And she talks to herself the whole time before she hits. Ball bobbled, Smith on the run, and she's in there safe. We've seen Giles fake down to second a couple of different times, but Riley Smith did not hesitate, and neither did Tobias.
See some great base running in this series from both teams. This time it's Riley Smith, no hesitation, sees that ball in the dirt and immediately takes off to third base.
And are they challenging?
On the field at third base being challenged by Alabama to be reviewed.
Wow.
This is a golden opportunity for them to get on the board.
Here's the 1-2 pitch to Ebbs. She fouls it off.
Now she's having a tough time with that pitch inside, really struggling to get her barrel out front. That's where Kayla Beaver has been working the zone against Ebbs.
You can see Beaver with already 23 pitches in his first inning, and that they check and say yes. And Ebbs couldn't stop it. And that was a pretty pitch by Beaver for out number 2.
Well, after working the inside part of the zone over and over, pitch to pitch, Beaver keeps Ebbs guessing the check swing as she paints the outside corner.
And here's Grace Lorson, who's been swinging the bat as well as anybody for Kentucky. Again, Smith at second, Smith at third, Tobias at second. again, is right on the outside part of the plate. Interesting, because it seemed like Beaver last night was trying to really work the inside part of the plate, and she's had a lot of success on the outside today against the Cats here in the first.
Well, that's what good pitchers can do. You know, this is game 3 of the series. She has pitched in every single game of this series, so there's no surprises. And if you've got a pitcher who can really command both sides of the plate, plus up and down, you can reinvent yourself with every at-bat. That's what Kayla Beaver's doing so far here in this game.
That one stayed up and in. And now with a couple of runners in scoring position, Lorsing may, in fact, get a look at a good pitch, but with Jenna Blanton on deck, they will still be cautious with Lorsing. And that one missed outside. And so Rachel Lawson is going to take Blanton down, and she's going to go with a pinch hitter. And it's going to be number 7, Allie Hutchins, who we just talked about. Hutchins has been in the top of the order for most of the last 2 or 3 weeks. She was moved to the leadoff spot for a while to move Koffel to number 2. Then on Thursday, Koffel was in the leadoff spot and Hutchins was 2. And I believe Hutchins was in the 3-hole last night as they continue to tinker. So bases full. Hutchins looks at a called strike.
Oh, I love this move by Rachel Lawson. She is not afraid. This is the first inning. Blanton hasn't even had an at-bat, but she is not afraid to make strategic moves in situations where the game calls for it. It calls for it here in the first inning. Blanton, more of a short game specialist. Hutchins, one of the best power hitters on the team.
Boy, Beaver has got a ton of speed and a ton of move on that ball today. I mean, that kind of hamstrung Giles a little bit, and there you see what Kentucky has dealt with this season. It's a number that's got to get better.
Now they've had so many opportunities with bases loaded and have not been able to succeed, and this is through the entire team. You think about all the base runners left out there throughout the course of the season with the amount of at-bats they've had with the bases loaded where they've come up empty. It's a key part of the game right here.
That one missed inside. And now Beaver is behind 3-1 and no place to put Hutchins. Smith is on third, Tobias at second, Lorsing at first.
Yeah, been very atypical of first innings for Kayla Beaver throughout this entire season. Already has double-digit victories on the season. Big reason why, she has set the tempo. She typically works from ahead, especially early in the game. We have not seen that from her in the game so far.
The 3-2 pitch is grounded to short. Cahalan has to go across the diamond, and the inning is over. Cats load the bases but can't do anything with it. We head
regional, because a lot of these teams will find themselves not only playing in regionals but potentially hosting regionals and super regionals. The quality of this league, top to bottom, is by far the best in the entire country.
Ball is fouled into the netting on the left side by Kendall Clark, and so you see the SEC in the top 25 right now. Before they started league play and started playing each other, at one point in time, Carol, it was 12 out of 13, right?
It's just that, you know, we talked about it a little bit last night. There's no room for a lot of other teams, a lot of other conferences to get in there and have their presence felt. Of course, the Big 12 has a few, and of course the ACC as well, probably the other two top conferences in terms of parity and top to bottom strength, but the SEC really has no match.
And that ball is popped up to the infield. Koffel plays the wind, and there's one away.
Now batting well in the second baseman, number 22, Allie Edlin.
And here's Callie Hevelin. And that is a good sign for Schoonover after being on the bench for a long time as Kentucky loaded the bases to come back out and have control of the strike zone early in the count.
And so far, she's been able to really work to her strengths, which is that screwball. We've seen a lot of fly ball outs. We're going to get another one here. And it just has such a late break on it. She has so much confidence throwing it. It runs in on the hands of the right-handed batters. I mean, if I'm playing against Stephanie Schoonover, I am going to be backing, if I'm a right-handed batter, backing off the plate just a little bit, force her to throw something else besides that screwball. And if she does throw it and you swing at it, get a little more of the barrel on the ball.
So 2 away, and Abby Dukeshire, who had a hot bat coming into this weekend, but now she's been moved down in the lineup. And so you've got Delaney Sullivan now playing center field. Blant was in the lineup. She got pinch hit by Hutchins, and now Sullivan is there in center. But I guess technically Blanton could re-enter, right?
Sure.
Since she was in the starting lineup?
You got it, and can re-enter at any time. Doesn't have to be immediately. It's something also that Rachel Lawson, such a great strategist, uses her lineup very well.
That ball's in there for a called strike nicely on the inside part of the plate.
And you'll see a lot of different players moving along out, in the field defensively, and of course in the batting order as well. A lot of substitutions for Kentucky.
And you talked about tempo before. Schoonover with 2 quality quick pitches. And all of a sudden she has battled back. And the count is full. Hot shot, and Lorsing thought she got it on a line, but she was going to make sure. It's a 1-2-3 inning for.
With Alabama in her first year as the as assistant coach.
Cassie Reisner takes ball 1. There you see Kayla. She was down in the third base box Thursday night because Murph made it an early night when he was expressing his opinion about balls and strikes. Just missed inside.
I'm really impressed with Cassie Reisner, really inserted into the lineup here mid-season. Typically shortstop, now plays second base for the Wildcats, and just a tremendous athlete. Really has battled in her at-bats, and that's a tough position for a freshman. It's
right.
Tough for freshmen to lead when you're playing elite teams. And Kentucky is right in the middle of that elite schedule where they're having to face a lot of tough opponents. And Reisner has not been phased. She has got in there and made an impact.
Hit that one, and it's up in the wind. Taken by the center fielder, Lauren Johnson, for out number 1. Shortstop Cahalan thought she was going to have a play on it. She got all turned around. High sky here today at John Kropp Stadium, and a lot of wind out there. And here now is the Kentucky catcher, Hallie Mitchell. There you see the flags. 19 miles an hour. That's a bunch.
Yeah, and communication is key for quality defense every day, but especially on a windy day. As you mentioned, the ball may look like it's going to a certain player, and the wind just keeps drifting and taking it, and that's why you can't give up on a ball on a day like today. You just got to stick with it, over-communicate.
swing through that one.
Well, the catching position at Kentucky was a big question mark coming into the season, mainly because someone by the name of Kayla Kowalik, who everyone knows was in that slot, and it's been a little bit of a revolving door. Hallie Mitchell, and of course Hamilton, Carissa Hamilton. Saw Emmert catch an inning last night, and just really trying to find that everyday catcher. You get a look at Kayla Kowalik. It's now a GA, another coach at their alma mater, so to speak. And, you know, she's tough to replace anywhere. But, you know, when you're a young catcher and trying to fill the shoes of Kayla Kowalik, and also you're working with the coaching staff as they're calling pitches, you're working with a deep pitching staff, 4 or 5 pitchers. You're also managing the defense, and oh, by the way, you also have to hit.
Right.
And it's, you know, it can be a challenge. We've seen Hallie Mitchell catch a little more for Schoonover here in the middle of the season. That seemed to be a good combination.
Boy, and that ball missed downstairs, and Mitchell was able to work Beaver for a walk, and that's the second she's given up in as many innings.
Yeah, and I believe that's actually walk number 3 in 2 innings. So
you're absolutely
you know,
right.
just not even one time through the lineup here, and that is a very high number of walks for Kayla Beaver, who typically is right around the strike zone.
She can go weeks without walking 3 in a week. And Lauren Borzilleri set to look. The 0-1 pitch, and a little delayed steal there. And Mitchell got to second.
Goes back to the theme of the weekend. Outstanding base running. Mitchell keeps her feet moving, and as soon as Giles gets ready to throw the ball back, has to do a double pump to throw it down to second. Just good heads-up base running by Hallie Mitchell. As a base runner, you always want the defense to stop you. You don't want to stop yourself, and in that case, Hallie Mitchell got off. Nobody really paid attention to her.
And then it didn't look like they really communicated about it either.
Well, no, the middle infielders weren't even close to second base.
The ball is popped up, and we were talking about Kowalik and the challenges of the Kentucky catchers. When Kayla came in, she had to do the same thing. You know, there was a young lady here named Jenny Shaper who had just been incredibly solid for 4 years.
And before that, Griffin Joyner, who was equally as good.
That's exactly right.
Took them to the Women's College World Series, and that position has been just really talented position for the Wildcats.
First time in over a decade that it's been kind of uncertain, and they've had to do a reset.
Boy, the Alabama defense has just really opened the door. We saw it in the first inning. Kentucky stranded the bases loaded.
Yep.
They had an error, a couple walks. And now again in this second inning, a leadoff walk, a delayed steal. Just Alabama defense on their heels early in this game. Good opportunity for Kentucky to get on the board first.
Borzilleri, a little squibber to second. Mitchell comes over and takes the extra base and goes to third. And again, that's heads-up base running by Hallie Mitchell. And that moves her to third with 2 outs.
Now, a little bit fortunate there. You know, the ball's hit to the right side. Once that ball's down, she should have taken off immediately, but she takes 2 steps back to second base, and that made the play very close at third base. Very fortunate to be able to advance.
And there you see what Kayla Beaver has done in SEC play. Actually has doubled the rest of the staff in terms of innings pitched. And that one is well outside.
Well, and that's what makes all great pitchers great. They believe they can get anyone out at any time. And the last time Aaron Koffel faced Kayla Beaver last night, it was a 3-run home run. So
and the first time she faced her today, it was kind of a routine ground ball that went through the legs of Broadfoot at third.
Yeah, I have to admit, I am very surprised here that Alabama's pitching to Aaron Koffel. I would want nothing to do with Aaron Koffel in a tie game. I know it's early innings. Alabama scored a lot of runs last night, but this is a different game, has a different feel already, but they are going right at Aaron Koffel in this situation, and just seen Aaron Koffel too many times in this Kentucky Wildcat offense come through, make something happen for her team.
1-2 pitch. Wow, nobody's hit first. Wow. You could see that coming. What happened was Dukeshire started over to get the ball. It was fielded by the second baseman, and nobody was there to flip to.
Yeah, not sure why Abby Dukeshire went so far away from first base to get that ball. You want your...
Of Hallie Mitchell to get herself to second and then to come over on that ground out to the right side, and that's why she was able to score.
And that particular play just shows the Alabama defense not sharp in this game.
Not at all.
That error at third base, that was a poor decision by Dukeshire at first base to attempt to field that ball. The delayed steal, just the wild pitches. We've just seen a not very crisp Alabama defense.
Which is unusual. As Riley Smith takes the ball to even the count at 1-1. You see Koffel at first with 2 outs, and the Wildcats with a 1-0 lead. Now you've got to wonder what the mindset is for Beaver. I'm sure she's thinking that she should be out of that inning, but she's not.
Well, Alabama's only given up 8 stolen bases this season. Teams really haven't run a lot on Alabama. A lot of that has to do with the pitching staff ERA. It's been very low.
Right.
It's been hard to score runs. But the way this game is going, I'd be putting Aaron Koffel in motion, forcing that defense to make some choices, especially with 2 strikes on the batter.
Got her. And that's the inning. But not, our producer said her pitch count was down just a skosh. I would say that's a skosh from Thursday night. Man, did she battle Thursday night. And here's the Alabama DP, Riley Valentine. Two-0 pitch, and that one missed outside. And so just as Kentucky gives its starter a 1-0 lead, she goes 3-0 on the Alabama leadoff hitter.
I mean, those pitches are not missing by much.
And now she hit her.
After Schoonover just really was painting the corners, not getting the call very close. This time tries to go back inside. Clearly this one's in the box. And Valentine gets on first base.
And so here's the center fielder, Lauren Johnson. She and her sister, Jenna, responsible for the 5 RBIs in the 6th inning last night that broke it open for the Tide. That ball bunted. Really nice play by Lorson. And now Reisner runs at her as long as possible. That's exactly the way to play it. And you usually do not see this from Alabama. You're 1,000% right, Carol, but a base running mistake there, and the Cats get a double play.
Yeah, Alabama trying to be overly aggressive here. Valentine, you have to have your head on a swivel, know where the ball is at all times. If you're going to take off to third, you better be going all the way to third immediately. But when you hesitate, you're in trouble, especially in the middle of the baseline. Kentucky executes it perfectly, a little catch and throw. And the rundown, of course, from Koffel. That's a huge double play.
And Reisner started that when she ran at her as long as possible and made her commit to going one way or the other. So outstanding execution by the Cats as Jenna Johnson is now ahead in the count 2-0.
Schoonover working both sides of the plate now. We've seen her use the screwball quite a bit to right-handed batters. Now it's the second time through the lineup. Coach Lawson calling the pitches, giving every hitter a little different look, really showing you she also has that curveball she can go to on the outer half.
She continues to stay right there. That time Johnson got a piece and fouled it off. Don't want to jinx, but to this point in time, we haven't seen any of those double-digit pitch at-bats that we have experienced over the last couple of days.
Well, that's credit a lot yesterday to Alabama. They had some, I don't know other word to describe it besides feisty at-bats, just really good plate discipline and fouled a lot of pitches off. If they couldn't drive the ball, they were just fouling it off. You have to practice that barrel control, and they had some long at-bats yesterday.
That ball stayed upstairs and kind of crossed up Mitchell. And look at what they've done in terms of extra base hits and hitting the ball hard this weekend.
And that RBI number, I mean, they are earning their runs, and they've been passing the bat.
That ball's hit hard, and it's, oh gosh, did it get out? It hit the top of the fence. Oh, wow. That one hit harder, and for the second straight day, Johnson has gone deep.
Oh, we just showed you the amount of extra base hit, home runs, RBI from Alabama. You can add to that total. This pitch not enough off the plate as Schoonover continued to work the outer part of the plate. This one comes across the inside, and Johnson has been on fire this weekend with RBI. She adds to that total. Schoonover can't believe it. One swing, and we have a tie game.
That ball just kept carrying. And so with two down, here's Kenley Cahalan, who walked in her only other time up. Thought there was something that Patrick Murphy wanted to address with his team, but it doesn't seem like he is yet. So after that home run, he reached out to Kayla Bro and told her to go down and coach at third. And he's back in the dugout, there on the top step.
Yeah, it could be something he wants to see. As a coach, you get a different vantage point from the pitcher.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can see something different from the dugout, or maybe there's something you want to, tell your team. You see this a lot.
Good pitch.
That switch things up. Sometimes it's a superstition, but in this case, it's very intentional by Patrick Murphy as he heads to the dugout for offense.
That ball is hit well to left, but it's hauled in out there. Now in this 1-1 game, here's Peyton Plotz. She walked in her only previous at bat.
Just has a very mature approach for a freshman. Really has good plate discipline and usually is on time. You rarely see her get fooled from a timing perspective.
There you see her rank among SEC freshmen. Second in slugging percentage.
And really has become an everyday player. You know, she didn't start the season as an everyday player, so, you know, she's really earned her way into this lineup. And a lot of it has to do with certainly the way she swings the bat and just gives Kentucky a shot, just a quality at bat every time.
That's a flare to second. Wow. And did that ball fool Hevelin? I think she thought it was going to come back at her even more, and then she had to make a dive and made it pay off.
And every infielder knows if this ball drops, there's no chance to get an out. You have got to fully commit to keeping that ball from dropping. And once Hevelin does realize, oh, I've really got to get going here forward, she sprints and fully commits and saves, quite frankly, a base runner for Kentucky.
So Delaney Sullivan had checked in to run for Ebbs and play in the outfield. But now with Ebbs turning the lineup, she is re-entering. And we've had a relatively small sample size, but it does not look like she is as quick as she was through the hitting zone prior to that shoulder injury.
Well, she's really, you know, Ebbs has always done this a little bit anyway, but you see it a little more pronounced, really trying hard. Takes a big step, gets her hips moving forward just to prevent that torque. I'm confident on that front shoulder. But this has been something Kentucky's been looking for all season long. They do have quite a few extra base hits, but Ebbs is really a key factor to having that strong left-handed power bat in the lineup. They really miss her when she was out with that injury.
That one's downstairs. Alabama has had at least one pitcher up every inning. It's Torrance now. But, Carol, you were pointing out to me in the break, I mean, this is a really high pitch count for the third inning.
Yeah, coming into this inning, Kayla Beaver was at 61 pitches. Now it's 66 pitches and closer to 70 now. But you know, you do the math on that, you do the innings. I mean, we're just starting to settle into the third inning here, and that would be over 200 pitches if she kept on this pace. But a lot of walks, a couple wild pitches. Of course, the error by one of her teammates, just a lot of extended innings.
And she went. Couldn't hold herself up on that. She strikes out for the second time. And they're two away in the home half of the third.
Yeah, that's two, strikeouts for Taylor Ebbs. Boy, if you swing, you want to commit and fully swing and put a good barrel on it. But that's back-to-back strikeouts for the DP position there for Kentucky. Just not a competitive swing.
Grace Lorson takes strike one. Maybe it's one of those deals where she's still afraid to torque that thing, you know, like you said with that shoulder injury. And so she can't stop herself. She can't decommit once she commits. Lorson walked in her only other plate appearance. To the shortstop, Cahalan. And the inning is over.
Bottom of the third, the Cats had no run.
We played 3 and with the third, and then in the middle of the inning, you went back to the dugout. Is that something you normally do? I learn something every time I do one of these things.
No, I've never done that actually.
Really?
Just a little coaching in the dugout after a base running mistake.
Okay, got you.
They had great crowd too. It's a win-win for softball. So
Isn't it, though?
Really, really cool to see so many people out here today.
Outstanding.
Well, Coach, 3 games here in Lexington, 3 starts for Kayla Beaver. What went into that decision?
Obviously the first game she didn't, what was it, about an inning and 2/3
Right.
or something, so she didn't throw very many pitches. And yesterday, she had a great game. Ailey Johnson finished for her, and today it's probably going to be a pitch by committee here pretty quick. So I wanted to get off to a good start with her, and unfortunately the first inning I think we gave them 5 free bases without a hit. So and we came unscathed, but there's still a lot to play.
Absolutely. Thanks, Murph. We appreciate your time.
Hey, happy Easter to everybody too. I really appreciate you guys being here.
Same to you, buddy. Take care. I love Murph. I mean, he's just so good for the game.
Well, and I love the way he said it. Well, I've never done that, but just need a little coaching on the base running end.
Right.
And I don't blame him. They've had a couple things that just poor decisions really throughout the entire game. They're very fortunate to be in a tie game, really, the way that Alabama has played on all sides of the ball. So, he obviously needed a very kind of a strong redirect, as I like to call it, and didn't want to wait till between innings. So it always teaching, and there's a reason he's in the Hall of Fame, and the reason that he's has over 1,200 wins in his career.
Giles takes a first pitch strike. And I'm not just saying this because you're here, but I mean every coach I've ever encountered is like that. You've got such great people working in this game, and not only to allow us to do our work, but interaction with the fans and young people. And I mean, it is just so much fun to come out to the park and be a part of this sport.
Well, I'm a little biased. There's no doubt about it. Spending the majority of my career in the sport, but there's no doubt that I believe that's what makes softball so special is our coaches, just great people, and they're willing to share. It doesn't matter if you're a high school coach and a first-year assistant, or as Giles gets a free base there. But it doesn't matter if you're a rookie coach or a seasoned veteran. You can sit down and share ideas, and that's really what's helped our sport grow so much, is that camaraderie. And we've seen this a little bit from Schoonover. Now, if that barrel would have went through the zone, or she would have swung at that pitch, it would have been a strike. And there's a little discussion here.
That's what Rachel Lawson is asking about right now, and I don't know if she can review that or not.
Oh yeah, you can definitely review that to see if a hit by pitch was indeed all the things
back out to the field. But in any event, Giles is at first, and here's Emma Broadfoot. We really haven't seen Alabama put anything on, in terms of hit and run. But that ball is looped into left field. It's going to find the ground, and that's in for a base hit. Vanessa Nesby now out there in left. Just couldn't get to it. And that's a really good piece of hitting on a tough pitch by Broadfoot.
This pitch on the outer half of the plate, and Broadfoot pulls it. That's why she doesn't get a lot of power on the ball. It just kind of shortens her lever there. But this was trouble for Kentucky last inning. They started the inning with a hit batter. And again, in the fourth inning here, started the inning with a hit batter. Alabama's got something cooking.
So Kendall Clark stands in. Giles at second, Broadfoot at first, nobody out. Got her swing on that one.
Yeah, and there's not even a hint of the short game here for Alabama. Just, it's early in the game still, early to middle of the game. They're feeling confident. Again, last night, 11 hits, 3 home runs. We've seen a home run already today in this game. It's what they like to do, swing the ball, swing the bat, swing it aggressively.
Patrick Murphy talk about that pitching by committee here very soon. Johnson and Jocelyn Brisky up in the pen. Neither team has set the world on fire with runners in scoring position this weekend.
Yeah, the difference for Alabama has really been the long ball. You know, they've hit a lot of home runs. Hit a home run in every game of this series so far. And that's really been the difference. Their ability to, you know, you saw their 2-out hitting. Not good at all, just one hit.
Right.
In this whole series with 2 outs.
And except for Johnson's last night, I think the majority of those homers have all been solo shots. So now that count to Clark has been run full. Giles at second, Broadfoot at first, and Patrick Murphy saw something over toward the... Oh, now he's going to go with a pinch runner. He wanted to make a quick call, so Broadfoot comes out. And they're going to go with number 6, Kenley Pate. Okay, so why do you do that when you've got somebody in Giles in front? I mean, if you can stay out of a double play or something, then you got runners on the corner with only 1 out. Off the wrists.
Well, game 3 of a series, it's a battle. There are no surprises anymore. You've got to grit it out. We've got both pitchers who started on Thursday starting again here on Saturday. I mean, it's just, you're going to put all hands on deck. Give everyone an opportunity.
And she walked her. Schoonover has now gotten herself in a big hole. And there's action in the Kentucky bullpen as Sydney Langdon is up and getting loose.
Well, and this is the part of the lineup for Alabama, the bottom half of the lineup that has been very successful in the series for Alabama. They've done the most damage.
And that ball pulled just foul by Callie Hevelin. And that ball gets away from the catcher, Mitchell. Here comes the throw, and it's not close. And that was Giles who led things off by getting hit in the hand, and now they'll have an opportunity to go back and work on her in the Alabama bench.
It's a lot of defensive mistakes from both teams today, and those little things matter. Hallie Mitchell just too slow at getting her glove up to the target. And it tips off at a very inopportune time for Kentucky as Alabama takes the lead.
That was called a pass ball. And I have no quarrel with that at all. So now you've got Pate, the pinch runner, at third. And Clark at second.
Well, and good opportunity for the squeeze play here, and Kentucky playing tight on the corners, anticipating that as well. Now with 2 strikes, of course they can back up just a little bit, but that's when you've got the momentum on your side, as Alabama does in this inning. Still no outs in this inning, 2 runners in scoring position, the pinch runner at third base with some speed, just a lot of opportunities opening up for Alabama in this inning.
That full count pitch is fouled off. Here now the 7th pitch of the at-bat. And Schoonover wants to get the signs again from Rachel Lawson. Oh gosh, that got Murph now. He was able to turn his head. They started to bring an ice bag out, and Murph having some fun, but oh gosh, it got him right on the elbow, didn't it?
I tell you what, there's just no place to go. And with a runner at second base, a lot of times that coach is going to be up the line a little bit on a hit so the runner can see you. But very fortunate it did get him in that spot, and certainly not in the head.
And that ball's outside, and that's a walk. Home crowd didn't like it, and now Rachel Lawson is going to come out to argue.
Expanded a little bit, and same thing with the hitters, and it's been a tough inning so far for Schoonover.
Here in the fourth is Dukeshire, swings through the first pitch. Bases loaded and nobody out. Pate at third, Clark at second, Hevelin at first. And Abby Dukeshire, who's had a tough weekend, could make up for it here. Lifts a soft fly to second. Infield fly is called. And for the Wildcats, finally out number one.
Yeah, big out for Schoonover. You just kind of had that feeling that Dukeshire was due, so to speak, because she's usually in the top 4 hitters of the lineup. They move her down today. She comes up in an opportunity, but it has not been her weekend. She's been reaching for the ball, kind of lunging at the ball, and Kentucky's able to get the out.
And Riley Valentine takes ball 1. Valentine was hit by a pitch back in the third. Infield in all the way around on the diamond.
That's a key part of the lineup here for Schoonover and the Wildcats. The last thing they want to do is, we saw it last night, put the 8 batter on, 9 batter on, and then you turn the lineup over. Jenna Johnson just having an outstanding weekend, the leadoff batter for Alabama.
That's fouled off as she tried to check her swing.
And with the infield playing in, understandably for Kentucky, they're trying to cut the runner off at home should a ground ball be hit. It just opens up a lot of holes for the Alabama offense.
Here now the 2-2. Checks, foul tip rather. Mitchell held on to it. And Schoonover 1 out away from getting out of a big-time jam.
I can't say enough about Schoonover as she throws this pitch. That's just a spot pitch on the outer part of the plate, running away from Valentine. Look at that emotion from Schoonover after she gave up the walk to really extend the inning. She has come back and shown a lot of fortitude with 2 quick outs.
And here's Lauren Johnson for the second time. Base is still full for the Crimson Tide. As they lead it 2-1, grounder to Koffel, the flip to second. You would think a game-deciding series between you two would be today is what we've seen.
Yeah, it shows you how tough the SEC is, really. Like, all the teams top to bottom are very good, and every, game is a dogfight.
You know, Schoonover Thursday night, what a warrior she was for you in the circle. You turned to her again today. A lot of emotion out there from Schoonover. What are you seeing so far?
Well, it's been a tough season so far because for some reason the zone is something that she can't find all of a sudden in her career. So, it's tough. So when we're able to come up with key pitches and key outs, it's just very emotional.
Rachel, thanks so much. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
All right. So that may have been why Rachel Lawson had an extended conversation in between innings with the home plate umpire, Carlos Guzman. The bullet point right now is we saw Giles, who reached base when she got hit on the right hand. They took a look at it for a long time as that ball by Hutchins finds foul ground in right field. And so Riley Valentine, the designated player, has come in to catch.
Yeah, no surprise there. It definitely looked like got her in a bad spot, but why it's so important on a team to have some quality depth at every position. Valentine's caught quite a bit this season as well, so familiar territory.
Sure. And Giles, because of her base running ability, did stay in there and scored what is right now the go-ahead run. Beaver kept that one upstairs.
I don't know how else to say it, but this game has just been odd. Like, we've had so many base runners
the
in
whole
the game,
weekend.
and yet you look up at the scoreboard and there's 3 total hits
Right.
in the game, and we're in the bottom of the 4th, but there have been multiple base runners, the hit batters, the errors, the walks. There's just been a lot of odd things happen to really put pressure on the defense, but yet the pitchers like that right there with Kayla Beaver have been able to step up when their team has needed it, and that's helped keep the score down.
4th strikeout of the day for Beaver.
One of the best pitches we've seen from Beaver. Hutchins cannot get her barrel extended as this pitch, a rise ball, a low rise ball, the bottom of the zone, and Hutchins can't get her barrel on it.
Kind of tied her up, and Reisner, though, barrels up the first pitch as she gets the Wildcats' second hit of the day. Back up the middle.
It's been so impressed with Reisner. We talked about it earlier in the game. She's been inserted into the lineup in the middle of the season as the starter at second base. Really hasn't practiced there all fall, all season long as a freshman, and now she's been practicing there for about a week. And she's been the everyday starter, has done a nice job defensively, and is starting to really come on offensively. Just a good athlete.
And Hallie Mitchell, who walked last time up, takes ball 1. Borzilleri waits on deck, and then Koffel in the top of the order.
Patrick Murphy talked about it in our interview. You know, we might see a pitch by committee, and so far he's sticking with his ace in Kayla Beaver. This is a 3rd game she's pitched in, different amounts of pitches in each game, but trying to stick with her as long as he can, especially through the bottom part of the order here for Kentucky. We talked about Schoonover being a warrior for the Wildcats and the amount of pitches she's thrown in this series. Kayla Beaver's not far behind.
Out of all the Alabama pitchers that have thrown this weekend and today, I believe this is the first time we've seen 27 Alex Salter down there up in the bullpen. Ball lifted toward the gap in left center. It's off the wall. Reisner comes chugging into 3rd, and she got the stop sign from Christine Himes. And Mitchell turned on a pitch, barreled it up, and cruises into a 2nd with a stand-up double.
And it's her first double of the season. This pitch left too much over the plate by Beaver, and Mitchell does not miss. Kentucky, one of the best teams in the SEC in the country in extra base hits. And that was a big one from Mitchell.
Boy, and here's the problem now for Alabama, Carol. They're in a position where they're not going to be able to, well, they could. They've got to get Borzilleri here, and then you would think they would put Koffel on, but who knows, right? But if Borzilleri reaches, they're going to have to deal with Koffel.
Well, you're exactly right. Bases loaded, having to pitch to Aaron Koffel is a lot different. If there's an open base, I'm going to repeat what I said
Yeah.
a few innings ago.
Right.
I would want nothing, and I say this,
You did.
with all respect, nothing to do with Aaron Koffel because she just finds a way in situations. But, Alabama has found themselves in this situation the entire game, yet they've only given up the one run. But the defense has constantly had pressure. Credit to the Kentucky offense, finding ways on base, taking the extra base.
That ball, what a play! Dukeshire really gave up a run earlier in this game when she went and tried to get a ground ball that she shouldn't have. But my goodness, that saved at least one and maybe two runs right there.
Excellent reaction. Just glove to the ball quickly. Kayla Beaver's fired up. She knows what that means. That saved at least one, possibly two.
And maybe more because it allows Alabama to not pitch to Koffel. Cannot overstate how huge that play was by Abby Dukeshire.
Well, it goes to show you, as coaches, you talk about it all the time. You can't bring your offense to defense, your defense to offense. You make a mistake on defense, you can't bring that with you in your at-bat. And there's no doubt Abby Dukeshire has been struggling offensively in this series against Kentucky. Was in the top part of the lineup, moved down today, still can't find her groove, her rhythm. But it shows you can still make an impact on the game in defense. That was a huge play for the Alabama defense.
And now Rachel Lawson going to go pinch hitter here. And she's going to go with Carissa Hamilton from the right side. Six doubles, 6 homers, 18 RBI. And that's as good as a pitch as you'd ever want from Beaver. Hamilton strokes one, it's going to make the wall. 2 runs in as Reisner and Mitchell score, and Kentucky has taken a 3-2 lead.
Kentucky has been such a good pinch hitting team
Haven't they?
all season long, and this time it's the freshman. Takes a pitch low in the zone, gets her barrel low in the zone, and shows you her power. Talk about stepping up with a 2-out, 2-run RBI for the freshman.
And wow, I'm kind of, there's 2 outs though, yeah. So 2 outs. Koffel at third, Hamilton at second, and Peyton Plotz behind in the count 0-1. Thought they might try to pitch around her with the slapper Nesby coming up next. Plotz is somebody else who can drive that ball to right center. Instead it goes to the shortstop. And a tough play, but the inning is over. But not before the Wildcats get 2 runs on 3 hits. They leave a couple on base. We go to the 5th, 3-2. She has just seen her team fall behind 3-2.
Let's go to number 88, Jenna Johnson.
As Stephanie Schoonover ready to go back to work. And again in the 3rd. The last time she faced Schoonover, she went yard.
A good off-speed pitch from Schoonover. Jenna Johnson has been the most difficult out in the lineup for Alabama at the top. Love that pitch from Schoonover, just trying to disrupt the timing a little bit of Johnson, and especially to the pull side. I don't anticipate too many pitches over the plate on the inner half of the plate from Schoonover, as Johnson has just been crushing that part of the plate.
Little flare out there, and Reisner's got it. Almost overran it.
Now batting for Alabama with 1 out, out, shortstop number 31, Kinley Cahalan.
And here's Cahalan looking for her first hit of the day. I think this might be the first half inning we've had today where there have been no lineup changes by Rachel Lawson.
She keeps us on our toes. She
Yeah,
keeps
she does.
everybody, keeps her dugout on their toes. I mean, you better have your arm warm.
Hot shot. Wiesner 2 for 2 here in the 5th. And it looks like Patrick Murphy is going to go pinch hitter, and it's going to be the senior Bailey Dowling.
Now batting for Alabama, designated player number 7, Bailey Dowling.
So I guess Dowling would not be pinch hitting. She went into the DP spot when Valentine went to play catcher.
Yeah, Valentine, as the DP, just went in to catch. That
Gotcha.
made Giles the DP, and now, you know, I'm just watching how Giles reacted after she was hit by that pitch, and she is a catcher, a right-handed thrower, and it was her right arm, hand, elbow, something, and we did not see her come back out to catch, now not hitting. But Bailey Dowling, I mean, just has been a long-time starter in the Alabama lineup. This is a very experienced veteran coming in for an at-bat.
And there's Giles in the dugout. See, she's got an ice bag right there near her. I don't know if she's using it or not. I think Mitchell gave her pitcher a little help right there. Tugged that ball back in and framed it up for Carlos Guzman. He's now battled back to run the count full. In the air, will it stay in? Larsing is called off by Koffel, and she makes the catch. And that was a bit.
Quite a bit as we get to the latter half of the game here against Kentucky.
So Vanessa Nesby takes ball 1. Ball right in front, it's fair, wow. And I'm telling you, that was some kind of play right there by Hevelin, or else that ball was going to end up against a wall.
Now batting for the Wildcats with 1 out, their third baseman, number 33.
What an athletic play from Hevelin. Once the bunt's down, she's got to get over, find the base, and this ball is drifting. It's a rocket from Valentine, and it's drifting. She's able to hold her ground, stay out of the runner's lane, and catch the ball for the out.
And what in the world?
Brisky likes to work fast. She likes to work fast. As soon as she gets the ball, she wants to let it rip. And Coach Lawson is just talking about, you do have to allow time for the batter to get set. The hands, you have to get in on the pitcher's plate. And you look how quickly Brisky's ready to go. And as a Kentucky hitter, same thing. You've got to make that adjustment, get in the box, and be ready to go.
Yeah, there's no need to have a pitch clock on her.
No, very fast tempo.
Now she's behind 3-0.
And you do have to have that pause in there, and I'm sure that's what Coach Lawson was talking about. And now you're ready to see Lorsung make that adjustment, get in there, get ready to go.
Right. Back up the middle, and Brisky snags it. And quickly there, 2 away.
Now batting for the Wildcats and Jenna Blanton.
Jenna Blanton takes a called strike. That's a high chopper. That's going to be trouble. She had to double clutch it. And so Hevelin made that great play on the throw earlier, but she just couldn't get that one out of the glove cleanly. And that'll be a base hit.
Sometimes a little miss-hit ball is a slapper's best friend. Look how far Hevelin has to go to get the ball. She's behind the line on the pitcher's circle. Tough play to throw behind, and as you mentioned, a little double clutch. When you have a slapper, all you need, if you have some speed, is one little bobble, one little misplay, the ball in the ground, or the ball in the air, a little bit longer. That just allows you to be safe.
So Reisner singled up the middle last time and scored. Did she go? They don't check. Now Valentine's wanting to get a check. She's getting an earful from Patrick Murphy. And that ball shot to first, and there's Dukeshire again. Can she get there? Wow. That young lady has made a couple of nice plays late in this one. Nothing for the Cats, because they'll be a part of Mic'd Up Monday on Monday. And Emma Broadfoot stands in and takes a called first strike from Stephanie Schoonover. And Schoonover's pitched 5 innings, given up 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 was earned, 3 walks, and just 1 strikeout. Larson. And there's one away.
Now batting for Alabama with 1 out, right fielder number 15, Kendall Clark.
Kendall Clark looking for her first hit of the day. And when Schoonover can throw that off-speed pitch, I mean, it just opens up so much for her.
And she hasn't used it a lot in this game. This is the 3rd time through the batting order, and just another look. And when you can keep reinventing yourself throughout the game as a pitcher, and remember, this isn't just the 3rd at-bat for this Alabama team. In the first game, they all had multiple at-bats, as well as she threw 181 pitches in the complete game victory in game 1. But now she's able to pull that changeup out of her repertoire and continues to mix that screwball, curveball combination.
That ball hit to center, and that falls for a base hit. Just the 3rd hit of the day for the Crimson Tide. Jenna Blanton out there in center field did not get a good jump on it.
Now batting second baseman number 22, Callie.
You know, and any outfielder will tell you that's the hardest ball to judge. A line drive right at you. Is it rising up? You need a drop step. Is it dropping down? In this case, that was the case. And you know, you just kind of hold your ground until you get a good beat on it.
And that ball's popped straight up. There's Reisner. There's the right fielder. Wow. Plotz and Reisner. That's the kind of thing that can happen when you get a couple of freshmen getting together. But it works out well for the Cats.
Well, not only freshmen, but both are playing in fairly new positions. Reisner for sure. This is her first week at second base. She's able to hang on to the ball. And Stephanie Schoonover holding her breath and breathing it out, knowing that was a, you know, what we like to call a routine out. Nothing's routine till it's in the glove, but Peyton Plotz also not an everyday right fielder, but both of them earning their way into the starting lineup. Very fortunate to get the out there.
Patrick Murphy going with a pinch hitter here. Lauren Essman, the senior, who goes hacking after the first pitch. Essman has started 12 of the 15 games she's played in. Got 1 homer and 10 RBI, as you see there. And Clark at first base with 2 outs. That hit the bat, didn't it? Wow, I thought I heard bat, but maybe I didn't. A lot of movement on that pitch. Nobody coming out of the Kentucky dugout.
Well, it's that protective
It's a plastic
sleeve, and you're going to hear that as well.
Good
and
call.
that's happened a lot with Schoonover. A lot of hit batters in this series, and a lot of the reason why, and she has hit batters all season long, she is not afraid to work that inside part of the plate. And you're going to have to live with a few of those.
So Essman, the senior, is beaned. That means that Clark is at second, Essman is at first. And here comes another pinch hitter, 24, KJ Haney, a senior from Douglasville, Georgia. Haney has played in 9 games, only started 1. Must have drawn a bases loaded walk because she does not have a hit, but she does have an RBI.
And Patrick Murphy just trying to do everything he can, give every hitter an opportunity here against Schoonover, as Alabama, through 7 innings, almost through 5 innings, not quite today, so almost 12 innings of work, just 6 hits through the whole Alabama lineup. We saw 11 in the game last night.
Ball outside. We've just seen more and more movement on the ball from Schoonover here in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, not as smooth with her delivery. This can happen. Feeling the big moment of this game, feeling the big moment of this series. I mean, Kentucky has an opportunity. The winner of this game will win the series. Sometimes you can overthrow, get out of your element.
Got that called strike.
But as she has done throughout her time in this series, when her team has needed a big pitch, she's been able to make it.
Lacatena up in the Kentucky pen. 3-2, 2 outs in a 1-run game. And Schoonover wants to see the signs again. Clark at second, Essman at first. And Haney at the plate. That's right there. And Haney knew she was locked up. Schoonover gets out of the jam. No runs, a hit. Her in the bottom of the 7th. And then Carissa Hamilton with that huge pinch hit RBI double. And Schoonover has done just what she did earlier in this series. Looking for her 2nd win of the series and a victory that would give the Wildcats 2 of 3 over the 14th ranked team in the nation. Mitchell's been on base both times she's been up, walked and doubled. She's down on strikes. First strikeout for Jocelyn Brisky since coming in last inning.
It's that off-speed pitch, about 10 mile an hour slower, just takes a little off this pitch. Big strikeout.
And Lauren Borzilleri takes ball 1.
You can't say enough about Kentucky's pinch hitting abilities, and a big reason why they have so much success, as you mentioned, Carissa Hamilton comes in, pinch hit, 2 RBIs to take the lead, but that's something that Kentucky does all season long. They're a team that really takes advantage of having a deep roster, very versatile team on defense. They pinch hit a lot. I mean, coming into this game today, Kentucky had 71 pinch hitting opportunities, Alabama just 22, and that's very common. Kentucky always has a lot of opportunities, and because they're in that situation so many times, they get a lot of practice of that all season long. It's not as big of a deal, so to speak, as it is for a lot of other teams. They're hitting over 300 as a team with that many opportunities.
Borzelleri to the shortstop, and Cahalan throws across for out number 2.
With 2 outs, bagging for the Wildcats. Shortstop, number 21, Aaron Cobble.
And so with 2 outs, you can bet they will be oh so careful with Aaron Koffel. Back up the middle, and Brisky nicely picks it, and that's a 1-2 home series against the Crimson Tide. And here, yeah, it is, absolutely. Kristen White coming in to pinch hit for Lauren Johnson. Trying to get something on with that slap game, and nicely done back there by Hallie Mitchell, who waved off Borzelleri and said, let that thing go foul.
Yeah, there would have been no chance. White, one of the fastest players in the country, just tries to get the ball on the ground and have it become a foot race. And Kentucky's very fortunate that ball rolled foul. But I like this move from Coach Murphy. White, typically in the starting lineup, just has tremendous speed, just trying to use that speed to get on base.
And that one is chopped foul.
And the Kentucky infield has really shortened the field.
They could not be in any more than they are.
And you have to be careful as an outfielder. You know, White does not have any extra base hits on the season.
Right.
But the last thing you want with a 1-run lead, you know, this is like a no doubles defense. You want to stay a little deeper.
And that's exactly what she does. She shoots it right past Lawson, and they call it a base hit. And Patrick Murphy's
just great barrel control by White. Lets this pitch get to the outer half. Throws her barrel, just gets past the diving Lorsung. A good effort from Lorsung. That ball just too much pace on it.
White 4 for 4 on the base pass. But you've got Jenna Johnson, who has homered in each of the first 2 games. And you want to let her swing away. She just was a little bit ahead of that.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Johnson has been the most successful hitter in the series for Alabama. Not just the most successful hitter, the amount of hits, but the amount of RBI, home runs.
Nobody up in the Wildcat bullpen.
Good off-speed pitch there from Schoonover. She hasn't shown Johnson that pitch a whole lot. Throws it away from her. Johnson's had the most success pulling the ball, her powers to the pull side.
Nice play by Mitchell, preventing White from advancing. Once again, Schoonover set with a 2-2 pitch.
Just really enjoy Johnson's mentality as a hitter. She is feisty. She has good enough barrel control, experienced hitter. She can foul off pitches.
Here's the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Larsing went over to chase it down, but ran out of room. Got her swinging, but the ball gets away. And Johnson is going to be on base. Wow. Wow. Schoonover gets the strikeout.
And she goes to an off-speed pitch, and Mitchell does not get her glove turned over. She tries to pick the ball. Would have liked to have seen her keep that ball in front, turn your glove over. Just a big mistake there by Mitchell.
And another one. That's going to be a wild pitch, but I mean, as a catcher, you got to drop that knee and block that ball with the body.
Just got to do everything you can in this situation to keep the ball in front. And now with the tying run 60 feet away, even more important.
So here's Cahalan, and she rips a single. And we're all even.
Cahalan's been so big in the big moments throughout her career. This pitch is down in the zone. She gets her bat head down in the zone, doesn't try to do too much with this pitch, just finds the gap on the pull side, and we've got a tie ball game.
So Bailey Dowling comes up for the 2nd time now. She went into the DP spot when the catcher, Marley Giles, had to go out. Valentine became the catcher, and Dowling the DP. Now let's see how Schoonover responds.
She's had to work her way out of trouble a lot of times in this series. But she has been the workhorse. She wants the ball in her hands.
So it was a White single. Johnson struck out swinging, and then White went to second on a wild pitch. Then went to third on a wild pitch and scored on the single by Cahalan to tie things.
Bailey Dowling with a really a different role. Typically has been a starter throughout her career. A variety of infield positions. Has come off the bench a little more this season, but a very experienced hitter in the box.
Lifts that one to center field, back to the track, and in front of the wall. It's hauled in out there by Blanton for out number 2.
Now batting with 2 outs. Third baseman number 12, Emma Broadfoot.
And with 2 outs, here comes Emma Broadfoot. Broadfoot is singled once. Inside. Boy, and she rips that ball to left. But Nesby is back there and she's got it. But not before the Tide manufacture a run on strike. And so Carissa Hamilton had given Kentucky the lead with a 2 RBI double. Back in the fourth. And she leads things off here in the home half of the seventh. Hamilton, Plotz, and Nesby. Just got a piece of that one as she was out in front.
Key to having success against Brisky is really staying on time. It's true with against any pitcher, but because she throws that off-speed pitch so well and so often, just so important to track the ball.
Brisky starting her third full inning of work after coming on in relief of Kayla Beaver. Beaver is back down in the bullpen with a glove on. Looking like if called for, she might get up and start throwing again.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot in this series. If she doesn't like something that's happening in the circle in between innings, she's going down and working on it. No surprise there. A lot of the greats do that.
That ball stayed upstairs, and now the count is full. That ball hit right down by where they were in the bullpen. She goes off speed, and that's going to be an error. Kinley Cahalan got the big hit in the top of the seventh, but she can't make the play in the field here in the bottom of the inning. And the leadoff hitter for the Wildcats is on.
The defense starts with your feet, and Cahalan stops short. Could have taken one more step to really get in front of that ball. Can't do anything with it if you don't have it. And just a really good at bat from Hamilton. She had the 2-out, 2 RBI go-ahead hit. Really worked a lot of pitches there and put the ball in play, and Kentucky has the go-ahead, really the winning run now at first base.
So Hamilton came in for Riley Smith, and Smith re-enters at first to run as Plotz takes a first pitch strike. Riley Smith 9 for 9 on the base pass. And Valentine did not start this game as the Bama catcher. I'm like you, Carol. I'm kind of one of those people that might put my foot on the gas just a little bit.
Well, Kentucky swinging away here. A lot of times you might think, the go-ahead run at first, let's get her down to second any way we can. But when you look at what Kentucky's done with their substitutions in the batting order, you got Nesby in the on-deck circle, not really a power hitter. Plotz is a power hitter, so just letting Plotz get some swings in. She's been very successful in the SEC, one of the best freshmen in the SEC in terms of extra base hits, slugging percentage. Giving her a chance here.
To second, did they get the out? I don't know if they did or not. They might take a look at that. Rachel Lawson is calling for that immediately. I don't think that was a bad slide or anything. It just looked tough. And Hevelin got caught up down there at second base. So there's one out. Now you've got the slapper Nesby, who will try to move Plotz over to second. And then the hot-hitting Grace Lorsing stands on deck. Nesby trying to chop it over to the left side.
Just trying to do anything she can to get the runner, get Plotz over into scoring position. They've really shortened the field on Nesby, not a big extra base hitter. Just trying to use the ground.
Yep, and here's what may or may not happen. Now, Plotz is not slow, but she is not fleet of feet. But I've seen some coaches, you know, Cahalan's got to get over there to third base. If Nesby can make Broadfoot field that ball, you know, and people all of a sudden are looking around and arguing a call, I've seen some people just try to go first to third.
Well, we've had good base running from both of these teams in the series. If there's been an open base, they've been able to take it, balls in dirt. And a lot of advancement opportunities have been created because of the base running awareness, just paying attention.
Right. Like right there. And that's going to be a base hit. And that was a really good play by Broadfoot to just eat that ball.
This is all Nesby tried to do with every one of her swings. Pound the ball into the ground. And every slapper will tell you when that ball's in the air, puts a big smile on your face, because all that means is it gives you a chance to advance as a base runner. And Broadfoot had no play.
And how big now is that call at second base, or else the bases would be loaded. And you'd have a runner at third. But here's Grace Lorsing. She's had a big weekend, but has not had a hit today. Walked, grounded out to short, and grounded out back to the pitcher. That ball is squibbed. And Nesby gets back. And there are two outs.
Lorsing gets this one off the end of the bat. Easy play for Cahalan, who tries to double off Nesby, but this is where Kentucky now with another short game specialist. Blanton certainly can swing away, does have 2 doubles on the season, but Kentucky has pinch hit for her earlier in this game, and they want to keep her out there now for defense late in the game, hoping to have a little magic like Nesby had in terms of the short game and using the ground.
She did have a single last time up in the 4th. And Reisner waits on deck. That ball is booted by the third baseman. So you put it in play and you never know what might happen. And the whole situation changes here now, because Brisky has not given up a walk, but now you got no place to put anybody.
Well, the infield has done no favors for Brisky in the circle. We've seen a couple errors in this inning, and that has extended the inning for Kentucky. Now the winning run just 60 feet away. So much can happen with a runner at third. A lot more pressure on the battery, on Valentine. Behind the plate, got to keep the ball in front.
Great stat by our guys. 7th Bammer error this weekend as Reisner goes after the first pitch. And Brisky, the freshman, with the series on the line here in Lexington. Once the signs again, they reset the pitch clock. Plotz at third, Nesby at second. Blanton at first. Now pitcher and catcher want to make sure they're on the same page. And quickly, Risky is ahead in the count 0-2. Alabama able to scratch out a run. Can the Cats do the same to walk it off? Wow, that just missed.
That's what we were talking about earlier. Nice play by Valentine. Leads with the glove, gets her whole body in front of that ball. Cannot afford the ball to get away from her.
And now the pressure ramps up even more on the freshman. Out of Phoenix. And here we go.
What an at-bat by Reisner after being down 0-2. She has shown great plate discipline. She's also a freshman in this situation that everybody's on the same page.
Bases full, 3-2 pitch. And does Valentine get it? She does. And Alabama gets out of the inning. 7 pitches, comes back out to start the 8th. As Kendall Clark takes ball 1. That's a busy little weekend right there.
When you're talking about 8 at-bats, 7 to 8 at-bats for these Alabama starters against Schoonover.
Mitchell goes back to the fence, but ball ends up in the stands.
I mean, you get to this point when you're pitching this many pitches against the same team. It's a sheer mentality. It's a lot of emotion. It takes a great deal of focus and a lot of want-to from Stephanie Schoonover.
Boy, that ball has hit a proverbial country mile, but just fouled. Got her on the off-speed. And that is just her 4th strikeout of the day, but that may have been her best pitch of the day, Carol.
Yeah, and we've seen her use the off-speed late in the game. Really didn't use it in the first half of the game. And now she's able to pull that out of her pocket. And not only that we're seeing the off-speed, but we're seeing it on any count, and specifically as a strikeout pitch.
And here's Callie Hevelin. She was involved in that bang-bang call that really made a difference in that 7th inning. Remember, she came up a little gimpy on her ankle after the slide took place underneath her, so we'll see how it affects her in the box. Ball is looped into left field, and that's a base hit. Hevelin trying to get a little something started for the Tide here in the 8th. And they may very well have a pinch runner for her because of that gimpiness that we referred to earlier. Maybe not.
Now batting for Alabama, first baseman number 10, Abby Dukeshire.
I don't think Dukeshire re-entered. I don't know what Murph might have been reporting to the umpire. But in any event, 1 down, 1 on. And Abby Dukeshire stands in. She's having an 0 for 2 day. That off-speed pitch again.
Dukeshire really has not hit the ball solid the entire series. Typically in the top part of the order, she's in the bottom part of the order. Still a very dangerous hitter in this situation.
One thing she has done, though, Carol, is make at least 2 big-time defensive plays in this game.
Yeah, saved a few runs over there at first base. You can see the growth she's had this season. Coming into this game, despite having a tough series in the first 2 games, still leads the team in hits coming into this game.
Wow. That pitch was deemed to not be a strike. It's all in the eyes of the deemer. 1-2. Popped it up to the right side, and Borzelleri is there. They're out number 2.
And that's where Kentucky has had a lot of success against Dukeshire, who has a lot of power. They've worked her to the outer part of the plate. She's really been caught lunging all weekend long.
Good point. And so with 2 down, here's Riley Valentine. Hit by a pitch and struck out, and had to move to catcher after the injury to Giles. And there's another ball that got away from Mitchell. There have been a number of Kentucky miscues today, but in one of the great ironies of this game that we love, still not an official error. Ball hit off the fist into foul ground, and nothing goes. That ball is down low. 4th inning of work. For Brisky. And that ball is thrown across the diamond for out number 1. Brisky on in relief of Caleb Beaver. And now Beaver and Aaliyah Johnson throwing in the Bama bullpen. No action in the Kentucky pen.
And this is what Brisky does. If she is on her game, likes to work the ball down in the zone and change his speed so effectively, which causes hitters to get out on their front foot, beat the ball into the ground.
The Wildcats would love Borzelleri to find a way to get on. It would not prevent the Tide from pitching around Koffel. But if they did, it would put the potential winning run in scoring position. And now Borzelleri is ahead in the count 3-0. Walked her on 4 pitches. Wow. And I guess she's going to go with a pinch runner, and it is going to be Alexia Lacatena, who we saw in relief yesterday, and she has spent much of this afternoon in the bullpen.
And how many times do you see a pitcher come in to pinch hit?
Well,
I mean, that's pretty rare.
She can motor now, I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, she's one of the better base runners and moves very well. And in this situation, with the bottom of the 8th, she's the game-winning run. You want to look at your bench. And
Koffel takes that down low, and that is now 5 straight balls that have been thrown by Brisky. And that one got the inside corner. And as you pointed out earlier, that's the place where everybody tries to work Aaron Koffel. What the? Did that come from the bullpen? Somebody down in the Bama bullpen was getting loose and uncorked a ball. And that looks like it was Johnson. How do you uncork a ball that leaves the bullpen?
I bounced and then bounced over the fence. You know, that's kind of caught it out of the side of my eye there.
Wow. And that's a strike on the outside part of the plate. Maybe the best pitch that Brisky has thrown today. And now what does she do with the Kentucky all-time home run leader at 1-2? That ball is hit pretty well. Will it get foul? It does. Wasn't hit as well as I thought. There you see Koffel, who's now at number 66. And looking to move up the SEC ladder. She'd love to do it in walk-off style right here. Off the fist, that's going to fall for a base hit. They don't send Lacatena. And I must be frank with you, Lacatena didn't look nearly as fast going to second base as I thought she was.
Erin Koffel just finds a way. We saw her do it earlier. This pitch is up and in after seeing every pitch, knees and below in this at-bat. Brisky tries to go upstairs, and Koffel just finds a way, fists the ball, gets it off the inner half. But that is what Erin Koffel does. That's why I continue to say I would want nothing to do with Erin Koffel, because she is very tough, what I call between the ears, just knows how to get it done when it matters most.
And doesn't Smith have to try to move the runners up? No, I guess not. That's going to walk it off. Shows you what I know. Riley Smith with a game-ending double. And Kentucky has taken the series from Alabama.
Brief 5-second instrumental interlude. I'm in the kitchen cooking up a masterpiece. I'm the chef bringing flavors that'll never cease. Got my apron on, spatula in hand, flipping rhymes like I flip a pan. Whisking up words, making magic with my flow. Every verse I serve, it's like a culinary show. From the stove to the mic, I'm on fire. Mixing up metaphors, my skills never tire. I'm the rap chef, slicing through beats. Seasoned with a rhythm, every verse is a feast. From the pot to the page, I'm cooking up rhymes. A culinary wordsmith ahead of my time. I chop it up like veggies on a cutting board. Crafting each line, sharper than a sword. My words marinate, soak into your soul, leaving you hungry for more. That's my goal. I saute similes, grilling metaphors. My flow so hot, it'll leave you scorched. From the appetizer to the main course, I serve up bars with unstoppable force. I'm the rap chef, slicing through beats, seasoned with a rhythm. Every verse is a feast. From the pot to the page, I'm cooking up rhymes. A culinary wordsmith ahead of my time. So next time you hear my tracks, know it ain't by chance. I'm the chef in the kitchen, bringing flavor to the dance. From the first bite to the last, you'll savor every line. I'm the rap chef, and this is my design.